Earlier in the series, we brought you the exciting news of 2 new cheetah cubs. Our cameras were actually there to film the birth, the very first here at the park.
Now, there is a very high mortality rate for cheetah cubs, both in the wild and in captivity. So while it was devastating that Wilma rejected the weaker of the 2 cubs, it wasn't entirely surprising. Vets and keepers did absolutely everything they could, but very sadly, the cub didn't survive.
Just 1 cub remained, but now there are real concerns Wilma may also reject the second. This whole area is in lockdown as staff monitor the situation, and everyone's fingers are crossed the second will survive.
Also on today's programme...
Hey! 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 Hey!
Keepers have to come to the aid of Stephanie, the oldest zebra in the park.
A number of the other zebras have actually turned on her. It's very harsh to see.
The cold-loving penguins fight back against a deadly disease.
I've had malaria, but I got it in Africa. I didn't get it in Wiltshire.
And meet Bert, a billy who's all about his belly.
You can always tell there's something going on in his brain. Because he's particularly food orientated, he's like a hoover.
Now straight to Cheetah Kingdom, where Caleb's morning round has just turned up a devastating discovery.
I've put the boys outside so we can carry on with normal.
Darren, head of animal operations, has been called in.
So basically got here this morning and the cub was half under the cage front at the front, led on the concrete. So I sort of took to see if it's alive, and then it was alive, but it's breathing, but it was freezing cold.
Wilma's remaining cub is in a fatal condition.
Its fur's all matted, it's not looking at its best. And she hasn't tried to suckle it or do anything since I've been in the house. She hasn't even moved it since it's been there or gone near it.
Let's get it warm. If it's been away, obviously we need to get it warm. I think she needs to have some assistance.
It's a crushing blow for the team. Cub number 1 was rejected twice by Mum Wilma and had to be hand-reared to stand any chance of surviving without her.
So it's been a bit of a struggle over the last few hours. We've still got quite big concerns about the way he's moving.
But despite all their love and care, an underlying health issue meant that there was nothing more this devoted team could do for the cub.
The poor guy had, we think, a head trauma and was kind of on a losing battle to start with. It's really sad, but we're happy that we did everything that we could.
They've already lost 1 cheetah cub, and now there's a strong chance they could lose this one too.
Duncan, this second cheetah cub has gone downhill overnight and is pretty static. Mum's not really making any inroads with it at all.
Reluctantly, the team have to intervene again and rush the cub to the vets. Cheetahs are classified as a vulnerable species, and this precious female is part of a global breeding program, so it's vital the vets do everything they can to save her.
She's very dehydrated and can't have been suckling overnight. Obviously, we don't know exactly what's happened. We've placed an intravenous catheter and are starting to give some fluids at quite high rates. We have taken a little blood sample and checked glucose levels, and they're very low. So we've added some glucose to the fluids as well. And at the moment, fluids are going in, and really it's a waiting game now to see if we respond.
The next few hours are critical for cub number 2. Only time will tell if it has enough fight to survive.
Now, rhesus macaque monkeys inhabit the widest geographical area of any non-human primate, and they've become masters of the geography in which they inhabit, including taking to the water. So today, Leia and I are going to try to encourage them into that. It's not looking particularly enticing.
No, it's been a really hot, sunny week, and so the pondweed's gone a bit nuts. But we'll see if we can get them in to cool off a bit.
OK, I know they're very hungry, so we should probably get going. So what are we using here? We're using ice cubes.
Ice cubes that are made with a mixture of really healthy foods for them. So we've got some seeds, some rice. We've made some lucerne tea, we've made some carrot tea.
They've got everything. It's like a frozen granola bar, sort of, in
yeah.
some cases. So what are we going to do? We're going to literally throw them into the water?
Yeah, and probably a bit over the other side to keep them happy.
OK.
And,
Here we go, monkeys.
Once they're all in, we'll back off and just see what they do.
Is this really going to work? Yeah.
It can do. Sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, the macaques are so intelligent. They've actually, a lot of them have figured out that if they wait by the side, the lollies will just float over to the side and they don't have to get wet at all.
Now, presumably in the wild, they would never be getting into the water to feed. They're not going to be finding frozen floating lollies. Would this not be a survival technique in the wild?
They're actually known to be very good swimmers. They're known to swim up to half a mile from island to island. It's one of the secrets of their success in their, mass distribution. As you can see, they're very thoughtful. They're really trying to work around the problem, and I imagine swimming really helps them in that armoury of skills.
Now, honestly, how often have you seen them in this pool here?
In really, really hot days, usually kind of just at the end of the day when it starts cooling down, you'll see the little ones just having a little paddle around the edges. But the adults, not so much.
Exactly as you predicted, Leia, they are waiting on the side for the frozen lollies to float to them. So they're actually being quite creative, I'd say.
They are, and it's nice to see that they're outwitting us yet again.
Would you describe this experiment as a success?
If it's happy monkeys, it's definitely a success.
I think we've got happy monkeys there. Leia, well done. Good luck for the next experiment with frozen fruit and your rhesus macaques.
Brilliant, thank you.
Nothing is easy or straightforward about looking after wild animals, and it's certainly been an up and down year for the cheetahs here. And although the keepers do everything in their care to protect their animals, they are constantly challenged by new emergencies. It seems that the roller coaster year that the cheetahs have been having is far from over yet. After 3 days of intensive care at the vets, there's some good news. Keeper Matt can pick up the cub.
The cub is doing much better. It's been taking milk, it's gaining weight, and right now its body temperature is now stabilised, which means it's now ready to leave the vet.
OK, so she's ready to go, looking fairly bright in there. She was taking food really well over the weekend, 20 mils at a time, straight down, absolutely fine. She has slowed up a little bit, so whether that's because she's not as poorly and doesn't need as much, or whether she is starting to slow down, we'll just have to see how she goes. There we are, OK.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
There you are, sweetheart.
Hey, say thank you. You're a lucky girl.
Yeah, good girlie.
This is the second cub now rejected by Wilma. Darren's taking no chances, and a decision has been made to hand-rear this baby cheetah.
Hand-rearing any animal, it's a tough call, And even when you step in, big risk to do, big decision to do, but compared to what nature probably would have let happen, I think we wouldn't have even a single cheetah today.
At 2 weeks old, hand-rearing this cheetah cub will be no easy feat. They're fragile animals prone to disease, and nearly a third die before they're a month old.
It is very tough. This cub, still very young, very delicate, and anything can happen. So we have to be prepared, for a very disappointing outcome.
To ensure her survival, she'll need a specialist team on board to give her round-the-clock care and attention.
As luck would have it, here we go. We've got Matt and Kate, who have a wealth of cheetah knowledge and passion. Matt and Kate have worked out extensively in Africa and certainly in Namibia, seen hands-on what these dedicated people are doing with wild cheetah. And they're a dedicated bunch.
Matt met his wife Kate in southwest Africa when they were both working at a carnivore conservation charity. and the couple successfully reared a litter of cheetah cubs straight from the mother's womb.
The stars, they were from, same age as our little girl, so very similar for me, that balance between getting the milk formula just right, the constant worry of the poo, so very similar to my first real big experience raising young cubs.
Although the cub has bounced back, she's not out of the woods yet. She'll need a close eye kept on her and feeding every 3 to 4 hours. After an intense night shift for Matt and Kate, there's no let-up in the cubs' care. She's also coming to work with them.
She was actually pretty good through the night. We fed her 3 times and then at midnight. And she's actually, she fights the bottle a little bit because she's still not quite used to the teat or the nipple. But when she's in it, oh my goodness, she's a greedy little drinker. Powder to 4 scoops of water.
It's not only feeding Matt and Kate have to do in place of this helpless cub's mother. They also wash her face after she drinks.
Yeah, I know.
And help her poo.
So basically everything we do with the cotton ball is actually just trying to mimic what Mum would do. So Mum would clean the bum to get her to urinate and defecate.
But there is one thing causing concern. What has gone in is not coming out.
She's actually been rather well today. She's got a good appetite, good energy. We just need her to poo. Basically, it lets us know 2 things, that internally everything is at least moving the way it should, as well as the fact that she's reacting well to the milk replacement that she's on.
With no poo, Matt and Kate can't check if the cub is digesting her feeds in the right way or if there is a more serious underlying problem. But later on, Matt gets what they've been waiting for.
Here we go. And yeah, at the moment, don't know if you can tell, but that's still quite runny.
That's not good news. Diarrhea could be a sign of worms. In grown animals, it's treatable. But in a cub as young as this one, it could be fatal.
There's a thief on the loose at family farmyard. Bert the goat is making sure he gets a good meal. Or 2, or even 3.
Here we go. This is what he does. Make his way through over here, and he'll dig a little trench underneath the fence line here. And there he's out, and now he's into the field. And now he's going to follow Jam. There's something's been dropped over there, you see? He's like a hoover. He'll avoid the primate pellets, but he particularly likes the carrot.
Bert's eating the other animals' dinner and being a real pest. Keeper Andy is well aware of this growing problem.
He's only really allowed a bit of hay, really, and whatever grass he can take here, but he will try and get into everyone else's food stock, so he'll try and get to the flake maize over here. He'll take whatever donkey food he can. All he thinks about, pretty much, is his stomach.
He may eat like a horse, but Bert is actually a pygmy goat cross. He arrived here almost 5 years ago with his goat buddy Ernie.
Unfortunately, Ernie did pass away, which meant that Bert was alone, and unfortunately, he did get a bit lonely. So we managed to put him in with the donkeys, and he really enjoyed it. In fact, he loves it.
Possibly because of the unlimited supply of hay. But with overindulgence comes weight gain.
He should be probably around about 30 kilos. At the moment, he's probably about 45 kilos. So we're going to try and get that down.
Goats are intelligent, social creatures who need mental stimulation. And without Ernie, the team think Bert is comfort eating.
In fact, you can always tell there's something going on in his brain. Because he's particularly food orientated, he is so motivated into getting into wherever he can. There we go. This way. It's because you dropped there's a couple of carrots there, but...
With Bert's behaviour getting increasingly out of hand, Andy came up with an ingenious plan to exercise Bert's natural climbing instincts and encourage him to do something other than eat.
He does like to balance on things, so I decided that over the last 6 months I'd make him a seesaw, and hopefully he will be entertained enough to use it more often.
If this apparatus takes Bert's mind off feeding all the time, it should help him lose weight. But can Andy, with Jean's help, convince one Bolshy and obese Billy to get on it?
Family Farmyard Andy to Family Farmyard Sophie, can you release Bert, please?
Oh, here he comes.
Here he
there
is.
He is. Well, like, he might be able to see the seesaw from there. Come on, Bert.
Bert, this way.
You've got a new toy.
Bert, this way.
And you
Oh,
come.
good boy.
Good boy.
Well done.
Hello,
This
Bert.
way,
Come
this
with
way.
us.
This
oh,
way.
you're
this
still
way.
gorgeous. You're
What do you
still
like?
gorgeous.
This way, over here, over here.
Yes. Come on,
Okay,
Bert.
now what's this? What's
Look
this,
at
Bert?
this.
Over here.
Okay,
What do
he's
you think
acknowledging
this is?
it, so that's
Yeah?
good. He's not ignoring it, Andy. That's a good
Okay,
sign.
now what do you think of this? Okay, Bert, Bert,
Come on, Bert.
Bert, over here. Bert, what do you think about this?
Looking good.
Well done.
Looking
well done.
good.
Okay.
Bert, look.
Now, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Good boy.
Look at this. Shall I tip it down?
Okay, now what do you think? What do you think of this?
Fancy a climb,
Now,
Bert?
what's this? What's this? Up on here. Up on here, Bert.
Is this normal,
Bert.
Andy? Is he usually quite... Does it take him a while with new
yes,
things?
it's because it's new. It's like, I'm not entirely sure on this. I don't know what... Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes,
well done,
he's on.
Bert.
He's
well
on.
done,
He's
Bert.
on.
Well done. Well done. Okay.
Yes,
good,
he's
good,
on.
Good, good, good. Well done, Bert.
on,
Up
Bert.
you come, up you come.
Oh, good
Up you
boy.
come. Up you come.
Up you come, Bert.
Up you come, Bert. What do you think? Now, he may jump off because it's bounties. He's not used to this and we won't expect this.
Okay.
Come on, Bert. Up you come. Up you come.
Excellent,
Up
Bert.
you come.
Well done.
Well done, Bert.
Well done,
Well
Bert.
done. Well done.
Oh, well done.
Well
Halfway.
done. Good,
Well
good, good,
done.
Good, 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 good.
So with a bit of this, and if you can stop stealing other animals' food,
That's right.
you'll lose that weight in no time.
Should be on his way to losing it. It won't happen overnight.
Yeah.
But it'll take a bit of time to accomplish, but hopefully we'll get there.
Right, let's try him again. Come
Okay.
on, Bert.
All right. Bert, come.
The keepers here dedicate their lives to looking after their animals and grow a natural bond with their friends. So when those animals grow old or ill, it can hit the keepers incredibly hard.
Ellie's Kev.
Come here.
Yeah, Kev, we're just heading into the park.
The patrol team at Africa Safari are concerned for the welfare of their oldest and most celebrated Grant zebra, Stephanie.
I was radioed to come in and was told that she had stopped eating yesterday and she didn't eat with the group this morning, which is quite odd for Stephanie because she usually chows down her food.
Tina has cared for Stephanie for 8 years, and the two have a very close bond.
So I came in and checked on her, went up and said hi to her, and noticed she was a bit unstable. Her eyes seemed a bit glazed over, as if she wasn't quite there. I could hear something going on in her mouth, as if she was playing with her mouth or as if she was grinding her teeth, which could be a sign that she's in discomfort.
If that wasn't worrying enough, other zebras in the herd have now begun to dominate and bully her.
Steph! Hey, 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 hey! Stephanie! Stephanie! Hey! 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 Enough!
Zebra are far from domesticated, and in the wild can be fierce, dangerous animals. Head of Safari John knows this behaviour mimics exactly what would happen in the wild.
A number of the other zebras have actually turned on her, they've been rushing into her, challenging her. It's very harsh to see, but the youngsters in the group will see this as an opportunity to increase their social status. Some of the up-and-coming females will think, right, this is my opportunity to show how big and strong I am. But unfortunately, that just shows that they've recognised the weakness in Stephanie.
In the wild, frail zebras are seen as a danger to the herd, an attraction to would-be predators. Grant zebras can live up to 20 years in the wild, and at 24, Stephanie has defied the odds. She was once a matriarch of the herd.
Over the years, she's had 6 foals with us and even been a grandmum as well. She's been a firm favourite amongst the staff.
Stephanie has become more frail, vulnerable, and fallen further in the herd's hierarchy. But her gentle nature was always on display, as Jean discovered on a recent visit.
What a beautiful coat you've got. Are you enjoying this, Steph?
Yeah.
I think she finds a connection with all the keepers, and you know, she's been elderly, and you know, you just want to wrap her up and make sure she's all right.
But Stephanie is far from all right. As her arthritis and asthma have become more debilitating, the aggressive behaviour from the herd has increased. It's now become a vicious circle, leaving Stephanie miserable and in pain.
I like to be hopeful, and I've tried to keep hopeful through the day. That, you know, it is just, you know, under the weather, a bug or something like that. But part of me thinks this is a bit different, and part of me inside thinks that she's telling us something now, and she's not happy, and that's the biggest thing. If she's not happy, then we can't keep this. So I will do everything that I need to do for her.
Vet Alex has been treating Stephanie since her ageing health needed more medical assistance.
Hi, Steffi. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Steph's a very old zebra, and she's had a few ongoing medical issues that we've been treating for and managing. Unfortunately, she's starting to lose quite a bit of weight, and she's obviously quite uncomfortable and quite unhappy.
Do you want to see her moving?
Yeah, if we see her moving.
Come on, Pop Bear. So, guys, if you just step back and let her move. Let her do what she needs to do. Oh, hi, Pickle. Come on, Stephanie. Come on, Stephanie. Oh, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Hey!
The moment she's unaccompanied, a young female sees another opportunity to exert dominance over poor old Stephanie.
Unfortunately, in the herd, she's now not really fending for herself as much, so she's also having to deal with the sort of politics of bullying. It's making her run even more on her arthritic legs. If that's happening to her regularly, then I don't think it's fair, is it?
We can't stay here all night and protect her.
Just because of their behaviour, to be honest.
She's never been constantly gone full, which is, it's really weird. They weren't like this yesterday, and they've just changed, and they're just starting on her now.
Her body condition is low. Her demeanour generally is quite dull. You can see she's quite uncomfortable.
Despite attacks from the herd, Stephanie wouldn't survive without them. But the aggression shown towards her and her continued failing health means her quality of life is minimal. Though an end is inevitable, the manner in which it happens is thankfully in the hands of Stephanie's loving keepers.
She's obviously a lot more uncomfortable in herself, and she's not able to sort of be herself and eat. She's not really eating much at all anymore. And I think it's sad, but I think it is time that the best thing for her is if we sadly put her to sleep.
Over at Half Mile Lake, a trio of hungry boys are waiting for their lunch. But inside, plans are afoot to make the gorillas work a little harder for their grub. All in an effort to keep them mentally stimulated and physically fit. The new dinner service, however, only holds dinner for one, So to avoid a crush and terrible table manners, young Avindi is getting first dibs.
Good boy.
Hi, Bendy. Just ignore us and eat your food. No, we're trying to make him work a little bit harder for his food today, Lauren, aren't we?
Yeah, so it's really important to kind of give their food in different ways, just to keep them stimulated. So this is a new kind of device that I've come up with today, and it's just to hang their browse in a different way, really. They get browse every day, especially in the summer, and it's Willow today, which is his absolute favourite. So hopefully he'll be willing to work for it.
So it's a little bit of enrichment, but what is it you're looking for?
Just really important for us to kind of make them work for the food physically and mentally. So what he's doing here is he's kind of pulling on things, and actually that fire hose there is really heavy, so it is really making him use all his muscles.
I've never seen him stood up like that. I mean, this is great enrichment. He's using his lips and his mouth to get in those little holes as well.
Generally, every evening the boys will come in, collect their food and sit down and eat it. So this is really making him work for it. He's got to stand up.
He's not sitting down, he's standing there, and it looks as if he's enjoying it as well, Lauren.
Yeah, gorillas are really capable of walking on their back legs and standing like this. Avindi actually does it the most. Because he's the smallest gorilla, he does it to make himself look bigger, look taller compared to the other boys.
He looked pretty big to me standing up there, let me tell you. And tell me a bit about their diet in the wild.
They're really, really opportunistic feeders, just generally because they are so lazy. They will have their territory and they'll forage in that territory all through the day, just finding all sorts of browse and bark, berries, seeds, whatever they come across, they will kind of gorge on until it's all gone.
Do they eat a lot of meat?
If they found it, they would give it a go.
Right, okay.
But they won't actively hunt like chimpanzees, but not as much as what you think they would. Generally, it's mostly the bark and the leaves of trees.
So what's in there?
So he's got a mix of fruits and vegetables. It's mainly a vegetable-based diet, just a few little bits of fruit, just for a little treat for them. Fruit's a bit more refreshing. But in the wild, the vegetables that they get are much more fibrous than what we produce here. So lots of root vegetables and leafy greens, dark leafy greens they like.
And does he have any favourites?
Avindi loves carrots. Always leaves them till last and eats them last.
Oh, he saves the best for last? Yeah. That's so cute. You did so well, Avindi. We've got a treat for you. Avindi, you did so well.
He wants that.
Oh, darling. Oh, it's so precious. Well, your feeder definitely worked, Lauren. He worked really hard for all that food. But I have to say, what a treat to get to feed him and see him up close. You're absolutely gorgeous. There you go, sweetheart.
For animals like the gorillas, their enclosure offers a level of protection not available to their wild cousins. But the park's gates and fences can't stop every threat. Almost 2 years ago, Longleat's penguin colony was decimated by an invasive parasitic disease.
The penguin keepers, they've hatched these birds out of eggs and they're dying in their arms.
Out of 34 birds, only 6 survived. 2 years on, I'm back to see how the colony has recovered.
Now then, is it breakfast time?
Oh, yes, please.
Now, Kel, it's lovely to be back with the penguins. Lovely to see a few more birds again.
So we're up to a nice number of 19 penguins
Fantastic,
altogether. Yeah.
Fantastic. Because you've really been through the mill here, haven't you? Can you remind me, was it avian malaria that was the thing that basically caused this mass illness and death of the penguins?
Yeah, it was. No one had really seen anything like it, and lots of places around the UK were also affected. It's really devastating. You can see, obviously, we did lose a significant amount of penguins.
Yeah.
And we are just really trying to concentrate on bringing their health back to a healthy population.
The thing that really surprised me when I found out about it is, you know, you think of malaria as being a tropical disease.
Yeah.
I've had malaria, but I got it in Africa. I didn't get it in Wiltshire.
Yeah, it's crazy. And obviously this strain of malaria is effective just for birds as well.
So it doesn't, we can't get it?
No, not this strain. This one specifically is for avian, so it just affects birds.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately for us as well, the time of season that our penguins come into their molt, which means they lose all their feathers. So effectively, they're losing a protective barrier.
Right.
Is the time when we get mosquitoes as well. So it is a bit of a battle, but you know, we've learnt from it, and we're continuing to do a lot of preventative health measures constantly.
Yeah.
We're always on standby for it, basically, now.
We can take pills to prevent getting malaria. Is there anything that can be done for birds against avian malaria?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can always give them preventative measures, which is what we do now.
So do they have effectively an anti-malarial pill?
They do. They get it once a week. Every Saturday, to be precise, and then that tablet will last them a week, and then we literally just give them that, and they'll be on that probably for the rest of their lives.
Really?
Yeah, and that's just one of our preventative measures.
As well as the pills, is there anything else that you can do to sort of stop mosquitoes being in this area?
We all spray citronella around the enclosure, and also we plant lavender.
Really?
So, yeah, so it looks very pretty and it smells beautiful, but there's something in it that mosquitoes absolutely detest.
Is that? I had no idea about that.
Yeah, so I actually need to hand planting some more, so if you're ready, we can...
I knew there would be some reason why you said, come and help me feed the penguins today. There's always a job to do. Oh, I see what you mean. You have got quite a lot of plants here that need planting, haven't you? Right. Brilliant. Oops. There we go. I have to say, as anti-malarials go, this is one of the nicest and most fragrant I've ever come across, and it's a lovely thing to learn. I had absolutely no idea that lavender did the job, and hopefully it will, and you'll have happy, healthy penguins all summer.
Yes, that'd be good.
Back at the African safari, the health of one of the park's most popular Grant zebras, Stephanie, has deteriorated dramatically.
Everyone knows Stephanie. She's a great character. She's a great member of the herd.
Stephanie is much loved, but her old age has lent itself to sickness and weakness that the rest of the herd are using to bully her with, leading to her further decline.
She's hopping on that back leg now.
Okay, well, I mean, I think my personal opinion is that I think euthanasia is the fairest option.
I think it's reached the point now where on welfare is the best thing for it.
Yeah.
Deciding the fate of any animal is one of the most difficult decisions to make in the park. But the final ruling always lies with Head of Animal Operations, Darren.
You have to weigh up, is it really the right decision for that animal, for the keepers, for the collection? And it's horrific having to do it. It really is. In Stephanie's case, she's an elderly zebra. I think it's quite easy to understand and get your head round. All the keepers, all the vet, you know, John, all the team know this is the right thing for Stephanie, and it's the kindest thing we could do for a very elderly animal.
Saying goodbye to such a well-known friend is never easy.
Feeling a bit sick, but we have to do what's right by her.
Darren is one of a handful of people licensed to give the sedative.
Tina's going to take me in the vehicle, get me as close as possible to Stephanie. She's going to be out in the park, hopefully just grazing and, you know, looking at the view and not knowing any different. I will dart her in her rump, and she will go to sleep, and then the vet will come along once she's fast asleep and euthanize her properly. If that plan works, by golly, it's the best way.
I think she's the one at the back there.
Yeah, the one with her head a bit down in there.
Yeah.
Very gently, Stephanie is separated from the rest of the herd, allowing Darren to do what he has to do. she'll drift peacefully into a gentle sleep, allowing the team to stay with her as Vet Alex gives her the final drug. The sedative has taken hold, and Stephanie has settled herself down in a far corner.
So we're just going to give her a couple more minutes, really, to let her have a more quiet time and calmly go to sleep fully.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's the moment they've all been dreading.
All right.
His eyes open, the eyes closed.
I think some of the twitching is the drugs.
Yeah.
Good girl. Okay.
Stephanie might be gone, but her legacy for the herd lives on through her children and grandchildren, a comfort for all those who loved her.
Tina, I'm going to give you a hug.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm shocked and sad to hear about Steph.
Yeah, she was a lovely lady, loved by all keepers, very gentle nature, but old age got her in the end, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you have all those fond memories of her over the years and her character. And also, I thought it was really nice that she was in your arms when she passed. I mean, that was lovely that she was with you, Tina. That was great.
It was really hard. I was glad I was there for her. But yeah, I'm going to miss her a lot.
I'm sure. And the circle of life on this park goes on as it does in the wild, so animals pass on and new animals arrive.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we're talking about, you know, best decision for her, but talking about the herd and the health of the herd.
Yeah.
We're moving forward that, bringing in a new stallion, which would be great for the group. Get some breeding, get some little ones out there. So we've also got Steph's daughter in here, Kabibi. So even though Steph's gone, her bloodline's still here, and she was a beautiful looking zebra, beautiful representation of what a Grant zebra should look like. So fingers crossed with our new stallion come in, Kabibi will find him attractive and take to him really well, and fingers crossed will mate and produce nice little foals, and Steph's line will continue on.
Yeah, that's something to be really excited about, and I can tell you I'll never forget meeting Steph here.
There's a serious problem with Wilma's surviving cub. It has yet to pass solid poo. The carnivore team have called in parasite detective Eloise to check a sample for worms.
If she has got any eggs or parasites or anything in her poo, then obviously it's really dangerous, and she could it's more of a risk to her life because she's so much younger than if she were an adult. So it's important that we treat her as soon as possible.
Worms can pass from an infected mother before birth or from suckling on her milk. As well as diarrhea, an infestation can cause vomiting and weight loss. In extreme cases, the result can be death.
Hopefully I won't find any. If so, then her runny poo might be more of a serious issue than we first thought.
But what will Eloise find?
Luckily, can't see any eggs in this sample, which is great. So that means little cub is hopefully just getting used to her new milk supply.
Finally, some good news. The Cheetah Cub has the all clear, and a simple change of diet should sort out the diarrhea.
We just kind of adjusted the diets. We started putting a little bit more protein in with an egg yolk. So you think about what the diet of a cheetah is. So in the wild, obviously, very lean, red meat. They would eat a lot of the fat around the organs. So you kind of look at the same thing with the milk composition with the powder. So we just kind of tweak that a little bit to make it a little bit more similar to what she was used to with Mum. And so far, fingers crossed, it's been all right. She's had some decent solid poos. The weight gain's gone clear up to the 50, 60 gram, which is absolutely fantastic. It's exactly what we need.
The cub is now 4 weeks old, and despite her difficult start in life, things are finally starting to look up.
There goes the bottle. All right, good girl. Think we're in the home stretch. We're pretty pleased exactly with the past week. She's gained really good weight. I mean, her activity level's been fantastic. Her appetite's amazing. So, I mean, all of the signs are there. Her teeth are coming in. And you can actually see her eyes starting to focus as well, which is fantastic.
Do you know what? This is one of those lovely moments as the head honcho where I can go around and high-five a few people and really congratulate them, be very proud of the team. Matt and Kate especially, they put a lot of effort into rearing this beautiful cub, and the reward has got to be walking into the rearing room and seeing the thing bounce around and get all excited, and all the carnival team can be really proud of that.
She'll soon be past the critical stage of her early development, and her survival will be testament to the tireless efforts of her adoptive mum and dad.
We are just at the moment over the moon with how she's doing, and fingers crossed it continues over the next couple of weeks. We get past that 6-week kind of barrier that we've got, and we can be really confident in her surviving and hopefully finding her a name, which would be fantastic.
Sadly, it's nearly the end of the programme, but before we go, Kate and I have come up to join Gemma and Bert, the fat goat, to see if we can have any more luck than Jean had earlier on.
Don't listen to him,
OK, Gemma,
Bert.
this is a brilliant-looking exercise machine. I know he wasn't so keen. How are we going to get him on there? We've got slip mats now.
Yeah, so the slip mats actually work really well, so he wasn't able to grip on it properly last time.
Bert, we need you. Bert! That's how much he wants to go on his exercise machine.
It's scary, isn't it?
I have to say, Gemma, he's not looking an awful lot thinner. Come on, can you do it? Can you do it? Come on, let's see.
There we go. Okay. I don't know how many calories he lost there.
Bert, this is how you do it.
This is how you do it, Bert. This is how you do it. Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
I mean, look at me svelte after that.
Well, Gemma, very good luck with trying to shift the pounds off
Thank
Bert.
you.
Look, he's stealing again. True to form. That really is the end of the show, but here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
The team at Animal Adventure leap into action in a matter of life or death for these marvellous marsupials.
Take him straight to the Animal Adventure, get him into the heat.
Wolfwood is getting ready for breeding, and it's vital that its residents get it on.
If it didn't happen, it would be really worrying.
And it's feeding time with Jean, but you won't believe what the goats want on the menu.
It's not easy filming with goats. There's one just trying to eat our director.